Hello, thank you for watching. I'm Michael Bruner of Brogan Video, and I have with me Deborah Finestone from Finestone Marketing Solutions. We have been asked hundreds of times, each of us, many important questions about social media and video marketing. And we decided to take our opinions on this, which are great because we come at this from very different points of view. So our opinions are very different, but I'm sure you'll enjoy it. And our question today, Deborah, is how can I measure the success of my video marketing efforts? What would you say to someone who asked you that?
So what's funny is I don't get this asked too much or not in this way. I get asked, or I think people think of like, how do I know if this is working? How is social media working? And the answer to that more general question is looking at your metrics. And that's something that I'm ardent about doing for all my clients. I learn something every month from looking at what's working, what's not working, what kinds of things do we want to be doing more of, what kind of thing, okay, this isn't coming out good. Let's not waste our time. And that goes with the video marketing also, right? As it turns out, most of the time, the thing that's most successful are your videos. Those are the things that get seen by more people for most of my clients than almost anything. I have a lot of clients who don't really like doing video, so we don't have too many of them. And every single time they do a video, especially if it's of them, it gets something like 5 times as many views, sometimes 5 times as many comments. Depends where it is, right? But that's it. It's looking at those metrics. Your every site, so Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, will tell you how many people looked at it, how long it was watched. In some cases, you can usually find that. Which I'll give you a quick tip. It's shorter. Go ahead and keep your videos short. Someone can do a 5 or 10 minute video. It gets watched maybe for 30 seconds most of the time. Keep things short. But you find all that information there so that you can make it worthwhile. And I've definitely had clients who one of them, when he did his first video, and like I just said, it was kind of far and away the most popular thing that month. He's like, oh, I need to do more of that because it was successful.
Many businesses that I know, I think this is a great practice, will keep a great chart of every new client that contacts them, and they'll write down how that person found them. And they will make sure that if it was a referral from a person, that they send a thank you note to the person. And if you know that it came from a certain network or social media, ask your clients, ask the people who are finding you, how did you find me? Write it down. And that's, I think, the best way that you're ever going to know it because it's hard to argue with it. Watch your metrics, exactly what you said. It's humbling how the numbers can work. You can get yourself into a mind of this is what's expected of me, this is what I need to do, but the market says something totally different. So lean into it. Why not?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
lastly, what are people saying to you? Because not all the times are you going to put out a video and people are just going to walk up and hire you because of that video. But if that person became aware of you, introduced themselves, and they talked to you a couple more times, and then they work with you, they won't say that that video was the reason why, but it still was the icebreaker that got you and them connected.
Yeah. And the other thing is that it, you mentioned referrals. A lot of, especially small businesses, you get business through word of mouth. Someone says something about you. But here's the thing: when someone says, "Oh, I'm looking for a plumber," and then you go, "What's the first thing you do?" And that you get that plumber's name, and what's the first thing you do? You go and Google them. So when what they're looking at is now part of the reinforcement of the initial referral, that word of mouth. And so it is, what do they see when they pull up? And by the way, when you Google someone, usually LinkedIn comes up first, or out of social media. You want your own website to come up first. Depending on your business, Yelp is usually sometimes up there. Can be a handful of other things, but then it's LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, usually in that order. For whatever reason, that's what Google does. Um, so make sure you have stuff up there that helps reinforce those referrals, that shows people, oh yeah, they solve the kind of problem I have. They have a lot of the experience I want. They, whatever it is, do the kind of things that matter to me.
It's
Nope.
also it also is just good for your glamour because you can't always control when somebody meets you. Someone could meet you on the side of the road when you're covered in sweat and you sound awful and you feel awful. But when they look you up on Google, as you said, all of a sudden they find you in front of a beautiful green screen, talking very confidently about what you do. And they're like, oh, this is the person in their element, at their best. And then
Yes.
that will be the image that they keep. It's video can support everything that you do, hold it up. Even if it's not the sole reason why people work with you, it complements everything that you do.
Absolutely. So if you have been watching all of this and haven't gotten it so far, we are really big fans of doing more video marketing, putting it on social media and every place else is kind of the bottom line of all of this. We will be coming back to you with some more questions and answers in the future.